Hey, it's Alan Tudyk. I just wanted to reach out and welcome you, along with the Duke of Wesselton, who would like to say, welcome to Magic Our Way, I suppose, with Kevin and Danny, Eli, and now with Rachel. Not a big welcomer, but okay, welcome. And then also K2SO. And there's a fresh one if you mouth off again.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libations.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs talking about Disney stuff, and this is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us for the hub. I present 5 questions for the avid Disney Parks fan. And look, this isn't your typical polished practice Pixie Dust and Disney podcast. No way. We won't be in Disneyland every week starting September 1st telling you how the scary good treats are for Halloween time at the Disneyland Resort.
That's right, Kev. We're just here to drink, talk some Disney, and get put under your bright lights of interrogation, let you know what it is that you want to know about our Disney love.
Yes, so just keep listening up while we drink up and get scared up.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Rachel. Oh, the intro reminded me. Have you people watched Andor yet?
No,
I watched one episode.
Not yet.
The first episode. That was it.
I'm so far behind on Disney. I haven't watched Secret Invasion. I hadn't watched Andor.
I haven't done that.
I saw one episode of Secret Invasion. You see a theme there.
I fell asleep on Secret Invasion. Like, I don't know, man. Disney Plus has been more disappointing than anything else. But why? Is Andor good?
Oh my gosh. Andor's my favorite Star Wars thing maybe ever.
Oh.
Did you watch it again?
I haven't rewatched it yet. I've only watched the whole thing through once. But it is the only Star Wars thing other than the original trilogy that I have any interest in rewatching. Ooh, and Rogue One. I love Rogue One.
Oh, man.
like Rogue
now,
One, yeah.
you see, this is where I'm running into problems here because now Rachel's had so many good recommendations that I feel like I got to watch this now.
I mean, you got to put in the time. It's a slow burn, but
It's a slow burn, but it's
rewarding. So good. Yeah, it's so rewarding. Oh my goodness.
How many episodes is it?
Lots. 12 maybe.
12?
Oh, wow.
I could be wrong. It might have been like 10. It was in that range though.
All right.
I might just have to break down and do it.
Yeah, I'm going to get to it at some point.
I got to do that with Secret Invasion.
Yeah, I got to see Secret Invasion. That's on the list. Ahsoka starts so soon.
I know.
That's the other thing. Is like Ahsoka's coming up.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Ahsoka's definitely something else we got to keep track of and see what's going on. And so, yeah, we'll see. We'll figure out how to do that. Cool. That should be good. And so, hey, man, enough of our jibber jabber. I've got some questions to ask. All right, that sound means it's time for football.
Yeah.
And specifically the Mohican Fantasy Football Leagues, y'all. Look, last call, not for alcohol, but to join our fantasy football leagues. Join in one of the mountains that we got going on, Big Cheddar Mountain, Cash Mountain. It's a lot of fun, very low stakes, $20 buy-in, no big deal, no big whoop, but just enough to keep it interesting and maybe a little spicy.
Should we change the name of Cash Mountain to Tiana's Football Adventure?
Bayou Football Adventure?
I don't know.
Swamp
We need
Adventure?
Bayou. Yeah, no, just Football Adventure.
Swamp-ass adventure?
Yeah, why not?
Because it's been so hot.
And you need know nothing about football to beat us. We really are not that knowledgeable in this.
I know literally nothing. Like, I don't think Tom Brady plays anymore, right? That was like the extent of my knowledge.
Well, I think he's still playing the field. I don't know about the ball, though.
Yeah.
But no, Lee Lastavica knew nothing about football. He was the least knowledgeable person about sports that I've ever anyone.
He won last year, yeah.
Yes, it's not hard at all to beat us, to beat anyone. The computer does really most of the work. It's just if you feel like coming on board and having some fun with us, we'd love to have you.
And look, $20 buy-in if you just want to join directly. But if you want to elevate your support, man, you could join Patreon, and you automatically have admission into the Fantasy Football Leagues if you would like to play.
Free.
We're not going to force you to play, but if you want to play, your admissions basically, or your league fees basically covered.
And if you want to play free, if you're like, look, I'd play, but I just don't want to pay $20 to play. If we get enough of y'all out there, we'll start a free league.
Yeah, we had free leagues before, free mountain before. So, I mean, definitely let us know. And I don't think we're filled yet. So, man, shoot us an email, show@magicarbor.com, and we'll find a place for you, man. Let us know. Welcome to The Q, the segment in which we get to discuss all the news and happenings in the world of Disney today. And look, the only news I want to talk about today is the announcement of the return of the Cronut.
Ooh.
Yes, man, look, when I saw this news break a few days ago, I knew I had to bring this up. If you've listened to the show long enough, I'm a big fan of the damn Cronut.
You love the Cronut.
I love the Cronut, and it's been absent for a little while.
Every day with the damn cronut.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
the Cronut.
I mean, look, they took away my pork shank,
Yeah.
and then the Cronut
Yeah.
was like non-existent for a while, and so I was very sad. But when this news broke, I was like, this is righteous. I love this. This delicious combination of croissant and donut is once again available.
Disney's coming back.
Yeah. Look, it's definitely one of my favorite Disney park treats, and like I said, I was very sad when I learned it was nowhere to be found. Needless to say, the last time I had one was during the 50th at Walt Disney World, and we went to the Odyssey. I think Kirk was with me. We ordered the Cronut, and this thing was, let's just say, it literally left a bad taste in my mouth.
Oh.
It was terrible.
That's what I was going to say. Every time
Bummer.
these things go away and come back, just like the turkey leg, I ain't trying to wish no bad man with your hammer on you there, Cameron.
I
The
know.
last
I
time
hear you.
turkey leg went away, came back, wasn't the same way it was.
No, it was bad, and that was the first time I had a Cronut since it left the refreshment outpost at World Showcase. You remember that's the only place you used to get it, was that little shop between like World Showcase and what was then known as Future World. Now, look, for those out there that don't know what a Cronut is, let me explain for a second.
I thought you just did. Chrysanthemums.
Right.
Chrysanthemums.
Chrysanthemums,
Right,
yes.
yeah.
You take
Is
some
that-
chrysanthemums, you muddle it,
Yeah.
and then you take it into a sheet of croissant dough. You basically cut out donut shapes out of the croissant dough, and as you know, croissants are very flaky.
Right.
But instead of baking it like a croissant, you fry that sucker up, man. It's freaking awesome, and it's kind of like frying up biscuit dough, like to make faux beignets. I don't know if anybody's ever tried that
Ooh-wee.
or something, but man, it is incredibly delicious, and it's the best when it's fresh and hot. And I hope that this is how they're going to serve it. Now, it's at Connections Cafe, which is a pretty big eatery.
Yes.
So that makes me worried that it may not be as fresh to order as it was at the refreshment outpost. So that's my only worry. I'm curious to know if anybody's been out there yet. I mean, granted, it just broke recently, it just came back. It's not even on the website yet, but then again, the website tends to take a while for it to update anyway. But if anybody's gone to Connections Cafe and has had the Cronut, I would love to know. Show@magicourway.com. Get in touch with us. Please, I hope, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, Eli, that this thing is just as good as it once was.
I want you to stay happy, Kevin.
I hope so.
So I
Me
hope
too.
it's the same thing you had. And then just tell the cast member, if it don't look fresh, just say, hey, I'll wait for the next fresh batch to come out. Stay happy while you're on vacation.
Stay happy. Stay happy with a Cronut,
There
man.
it is.
So,
They do make those fresh to order liege waffles there.
excuse me?
It's called a liege waffle.
Liege
it's a
waffle.
thing. I didn't know about it until Connections Eatery, but it's a thing other places, I guess. It's like a crispy type Belgian waffle.
Is
But
there
it's
stuff
like
on it?
it's like big cookie sized.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
But it's very like crispy on the outside, but soft in the middle, and they make them fresh to order there, and they're delicious. I had one; it was great. So I feel like that gives me hope for the Cronut.
I was just about to say that gives me hope that they're going to treat that with just as much care
Yeah.
as the, what was it you said, the liege waffle.
Yeah, they have a special carrot cake one. Or no, I'm sorry, not carrot cake. They have a special cream cheese frosting one right now for Food and Wine. Yeah, it's got like a cream cheese frosting drizzle on the top and a little Remy chocolate coin. It's cute.
I don't have
Yeah.
much of a sweet tooth, but it's acting up right now.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
good, man. But look,
Okay.
Cronut guys, look, let me get in touch with me. Let me know if it's any good.
That might be the difference whether or not Kevin books a trip in 2023.
That's
is
right.
Your
Wow.
recommendation.
High stakes Cronut.
Yes,
High stakes.
because if it's not, I got nothing to look forward to. It's done. It's
No.
We're packing it in. No more podcast.
No more. That's
It's
it.
over.
done.
Crowed up, messed it up for everybody.
Disappointed. Here we are on the Hub, our main topic segment of the show. And for this show, I present 5 questions for the most avid Disney fans. And in fact, when I was putting this together, I was able to get some themes. So I have themes of questions. So for this one, I present 5 questions for the most avid Disney Parks fans.
Okay. Well, you're talking to some avid Disney Parks fans.
Yes, I know. And I'm looking forward to hearing this. And this would be a great way, I thought, for, older listeners to kind of reaffirm the fact that, yeah, they know us. Or even newer listeners that come online, because we've had some newer people come on to learn a little bit more about us. And especially for the listeners out there to learn a little bit more about Rachel as well. Because these are just typical little questions that you might be just asked in passing, or if you're in a queue, or if you're sitting around waiting for your appetizer to show up at dinner, that kind of stuff, casual conversation. So the way it'll work is that I will present a question, and of course we'll go around the room and then state your answers. And then that's how the listeners will get some insight to the Magic Our Way podcast.
Oh boy.
And as I mentioned, every time I do this, we was going to have some kind of theme. This theme is going to be Disney Parks related. And so for this particular one, I'm thinking about things or experiences that we make sure we do on every Disney Parks vacation. That's how we're framing a lot of these questions.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The first one is, what are your top 3 food items that you have to have on every one of your trips? Now, I left this one broad so that you can come up with a list that combines, a snack like a cronut, or maybe like there's one particular entree you have to have on every trip, like the French onion soup at Steakhouse 71, or maybe like a quick service thing like the lobster roll. You always got to have a lobster roll. So I didn't want to break it down specifically, just in case, like overall, these are the 3 food items that I absolutely have to have. And just to let you know, I kept beverages its own question.
Okay.
Oh, that's good to know.
So keep that separate. But I'm thinking food items specifically that, every time I'm in the parks, it's like I gotta have one. Whether you're thinking about it subconsciously or consciously, this will define my vacation at this time.
In the parks or out the parks?
I guess I said for Disney Parks, but it could be the entire world, so to speak. So in the parks, or
so you
even if it's in the resorts, or downtown Disney. Just like overall, it's like if when I go down there, or even if you go to Disneyland, it could be Disneyland too.
We can have that too?
Yeah, you can have that too. We'll stay to stateside parks. It's like when I go there, at some point, I'm gonna get this.
Yeah, okay.
Ain't nothing gonna stop me.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride.
Ain't nothing breaking my stride.
No.
All right, so just to get me out of the way, because I've had some time with these questions. One of these I already mentioned in the queue. Of course, one of them is the cronut. And even before it disappeared, that was definitely one of the things. Like once I pass by the refreshment outpost, I'm getting the cronut. And usually I would try to get there just before World Showcase opened at 11 a.m. to kind of beat the rush, so to speak. But yeah, cronuts definitely got to be in there. And then the next one would be any kind of cheese stuffed pretzel, whatever they happen to be serving. So it could be the sweet cream cheese, or it could be the jalapeno cheese stuffed pretzel. But that seems to be every single time I will get something like that.
Totally understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes well with a beer, it goes well with a soft drink, it goes well with anything. Or with nothing. You just eat it.
Just eat it.
And I specifically think about the one near Kilimanjaro Safaris by that little cart that has all the vegetables, fruits and whatnot. I always seem to end up getting one there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right by the entrance to Kilimanjaro Safaris. So there's, The last thing I kind of had a tie, but it depends, because it's like I can have one or the other. And of course, one is like some kind of corn dog thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because I know, at Disney they do some corn dog nuggets, but I'll be happy with some kind of corn dog thing. But if I happen to be doing breakfast, then it's specifically a Mickey waffle. I got to have a Mickey waffle at Disney, made by Mickey people, made by a Mickey waffler machine. I have one of those machines that I bought off the line at my house. It's close, but it's just not the same. Just not the same. But so I got to have it, whether it could be off the buffet or it could be served to me. But yeah, those are my 3, man. Cronut, any kind of cheese stuffed pretzel, and the Mickey waffle.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't say the carrot cake cookie, because I remember that was a big one for you.
It was. It used to be, and I thought about it really hard, and I think the allure of it escaped me since it moved from where it used to be at the rider stop, and then when it went to Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't feel like waiting in that line. Is it really worth it to me? And then, last few times that I had it, man, maybe I'm getting older. I'm just like, this is really sweet.
You can't go that. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't go whole
totally
hog like I used to. And it's like, I don't know if I could do this anymore. I still love it. I still would recommend it. But, for an older guy like me, it's a little sweet. It's a little sweet. So maybe it's like number 4 or 5 on my list, if I had to list it out.
Yeah, this one had me kind of hungry now. I wasn't hungry before. It must be something y'all have going on. When you and Rachel, y'all start talking about food. For some reason, my mind goes visual. I see it now. I'm like, I gotta leave.
And you can taste it.
So yes. So then my mind wandered. I was thinking about all the stuff at the park. So definitely the first one would have to be original recipe turkey leg now at Disneyland in the Pier, you know.
Yeah, and was Pixar Pier, is it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
So it's safe to say anytime you're in Disneyland, you will get
I have
turkey
done
leg.
that. I know for a fact.
There's no
Whenever
doubt.
we've gone around there, there's like everybody's like, "Oh, look, there's a credit coast." I'm like, "Oh, look, that's where the stand for the turkey leg is. You see me over there."
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you did sit out last time we were there, and you had your turkey leg while we rode the coaster.
Yes,
I remember
because
that.
I can't eat that and then go on. It's like I either have to go on the ride and then eat it, or I just eat it and just there's no ride that's happening. I just gotta walk it off. But yes,
Okay, fair.
always have done that. Second one's kind of tough, but it took me some time to really kind of go through it. I would have to say a surf and turf at Narcoossee's is usually what I've gone. I've done appetizers and whatnot leading up to that, but that's always
Gotta have it.
Yeah, those two combinations you just can't miss with that. And I know what I'm dealing with that. You know, a lot of times I'll go to a restaurant and Danny will tell you, like, I am not an aficionado of masterful languages and whatnot. So if you put in a set of letters that combine, my mind blinks. I'm like, what is that? What does that do? Where was it? Luckily,
Like Vichyssoise?
oh man. Okay, perfect example is polenta. I didn't know what that was until the last time we went on the trip, and they looked at, like, especially Ada, Danny's wife, was like, "You don't know what polenta is?" Like, no, it's not like I go to the grocery store and I'm like, okay, there's steak, and then where's the polenta aisle? I don't see it. I can't try it.
My wife does nothing but watch the Food Network
Yes.
all day long.
All day long. So surf and turf, I know what that is, and boom, I can get down with that. And of course, the third for me, it's become a new favorite habit now, is going ahead and getting the root beer.
I was
ice cream
wondering if you're
float.
going to make
I
that.
was hoping,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that is very true. He
Yes.
is
Yes.
very much a stickler for that.
I am now, because it's like, number one, the advantage of that is it's just a really cold. That ice cream is just a real cold place. So like if you're out there, you're sweating to death, or you're just like, I can't take it. You just go in there and you're like, whoo, whole new lease on life. I'm telling you. And I go ahead, I get the ice cream float, typically root beer, what I go for right there with vanilla. Again, they say, hey, you want to try butter pecan strawberry? Like, no, just give me this.
Straight up root beer float.
Yes. And then I take that, walk right out the park. I'm a happy man, smiling, because I got my float.
Is there any particular place in specific, or just anywhere that serves it?
No, just right there on Main Street. That's the only one I've
That
run
is
across that while I've been out there. Yes.
I got you.
it's
I
always
got
on
you,
the
yeah.
way out that he ends up grabbing one.
I get on the way out.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, Rachel, what you got?
Yeah. So the first one I thought of was the spring rolls in Adventureland. Have you guys had those? They're so good. They have that spring roll cart. And so usually they have like a rotating special flavor, and then they have the cheeseburger. The cheeseburger ones are the best, I think. They always have the cheeseburger, but then they usually have like a rotating. So sometimes it's pizza, sometimes it's Philly cheesesteak. I think the special one for the 50th was a Reuben. They've had buffalo chicken. They have like all different kinds. So the Adventureland spring rolls, love those. Another one is Gideon's cookies. Have you all done Gideon's?
I have not done Gideon. I've always wanted
Oh,
to, but it
man.
always seems
I'm
so
passed
freaking
by,
busy.
yeah. Again, I don't really have much of a sweet tooth, so I miss a lot of this. But every once in a while, I just find myself in the spirit. But no, I don't think I've ever been to Gideon.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, my favorite one, I think it's my favorite. I go back and forth, but one of my favorites for sure is the coffee cake cookie. And it's great in the morning, because usually I go in the morning because that's when the line is the shortest. And so I'll go there first thing and I'll get 6 cookies, different flavors, but I'll get one of them as the coffee cake cookie. And then that's the one I eat right away. Although I don't think you can eat the whole thing in one sitting. They're huge. They're half-pound cookies.
It doesn't sound terribly sweet.
Yeah, the coffee cake cookie one it's got a good spice, not super sweet, doughy,
Okay.
it's yummy.
Like
Yeah,
a coffee
really good.
cake, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I also really love their cookies and cream one. It's like a regular cookie, like the batter of a chocolate chip cookie without the chocolate chips. Instead of chocolate chips, it's all crushed up Oreos
Oh, damn.
in the cookie. Yeah,
Damn.
it's so good.
Oh, in the cookie.
Yeah, in the
Oh,
cookie
damn.
and then on top. Yeah, everywhere.
Damn.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And then they have like a monthly special every month, and those are always really good too. So I love Gideon's. So that was my second thing. My third thing is the bread service at Nomad Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
bread
That
service
is
is so good.
good.
Yeah.
That's a good call. Yeah, that's
Very good
very
call.
popular.
I thought you were going to go with the welcome bread at first, but then you said that. Yeah, I was like, oh wow, that is so much better.
Yeah, it is. You know, welcome bread was almost on my list, but I think it got moved down. I started thinking about it because you can also get the welcome bread over at Livia's in Old Key West. But anyway, I digress from the Nomad Lounge bread service, which is absolutely killer.
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
Bread service at Nomad Lounge. And then my honorable mention on my last trip, I got that churro Mickey waffle at Crystal Palace. And that thing was so good. And the reason why I wouldn't put it in my top 3 is just because I don't think I would book that buffet just for that Mickey waffle. You know what I mean? Like that's too much money to just be doing it for the Mickey waffle every single time. But I will look forward to that every time Crystal Palace is in our plans. That Mickey waffle was so good. The churro.
That's fair. Yeah. So maybe like I'm not a every trip plan.
Yeah,
thing to
not
do,
every
but
trip.
like anytime you have Crystal Palace, it's a to do for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to say this is every single time you go. I mean, I'm
Because your
trying.
plans change.
Right, exactly. Like we'll be going in September, but we will only be stepping foot in one park. So there's going to be some of the stuff on that I'm thinking of that I won't be able to do. And then there's so many things that I love that are just no longer there anymore. So yeah, that's why it's been so hard for me to kind of figure this out. So definitely corn dogs at the Sleepy Hollow Refreshments. I have to do that at least once a trip. And I generally do that once a trip. It's actually one of the few things that me and my wife really agree upon. It's like, yeah, we have to have a corn dog at some point in time. Like generally we eat different things, but that is just one thing that we're in sync on. The seared scallops over at Narcoossee's, I order that every single day. I very rarely deviate from that. Like if I'm deviating from that, I'm adding on to it. I'm not subtracting the scallops. Scallops is like my favorite food. Third one's a little bit tough because I was thinking like I just like breakfasts in general. I just like going and but it's just so hard to call like a breakfast. Like it's not a favorite food. It's a whole.
It's a group of food items.
Right. So I'm gonna have to go with something that's also really not there, but it's not what it was, but it's still pretty damn close. Which is the formerly known smoky portobello mushroom soup that used to be at Artist Point,
Yeah.
which is now the wild mushroom bisque over at Storybook Dining at Artist Point, which is still very, very good. I mean, Eli will tell you, I had at least 3. Like anyone that wasn't eating theirs, I was gimme. So between that and seeing Dopey, that's really, I don't even go there for the entrees. It's just let me see Dopey and let me grab that soup. And really, if you go next door to the lounge, and I'm blanking on the name of the lounge, but they serve the bisque right there. You could have it right there without even having to
deal with the restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's a good trick.
Yes. Hopefully when we go now, at least it was that way when we went to the lounge and met with my wife, when we were meeting up with them coming from Typhoon Lagoon, it was still on the menu. I'll check again because I think we'll probably be back at Wilderness Lodge next time we go because we're going to be hanging outside the parks most of the time.
Yeah, it's the Territory Lounge.
Yeah.
Oh, the Territory Lounge. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
We were just on a cruise and they had a wild mushroom soup on the menu and we got it and we all decided that it was good, but it was not as good as the Artist one. That's like the high bar.
That makes me feel so much better because I was going to have to book a cruise.
Yeah. It wasn't quite as good. It was good, but not that.
Well, since we're at the Territory Lounge, and I'm assuming you can also get drinks at the lounge, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do the next question. As I kind of hinted, is like along those same lines, what would be your top 3 beverages that you have to have on every Disney Parks vacation?
Oh,
what defines it for like, well, you know you're going to have it at some point and you try your damnedest to do it.
I mean, it's not even trying all that hard, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I like to drink.
I like it a lot.
So,
all right, so I'll go ahead and go first with mine. And these are ones that are always typically, every time I'm going to get. And even sometimes you can find these when you're away from where they originated. So, for instance, like the Banana Cabana is definitely now one of the ones that has, I used to talk, if you listen to the show long enough, I used to talk about the Magical Star. And I used to drink that a lot until I was introduced, thanks to y'all, the Banana Cabana. And now that has overtaken the Magical Star for me. And, I love it. You can get it at Typhoon Lagoon, but you can also get it, Geyser Point over at Wilderness Lodge. They have that little outdoor restaurant in the back where you can also see the fireworks from. You can order Banana Cabana there, which I was surprised. So that was great when I stayed there.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, I discovered it. I was like, oh, yes, I am getting that. Nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you hear us talk about this on the show, the Lapu Lapu. Got to get it. And this is something, even when I was, in college, every time we pass by this particular cart in France, I have to get it. And that's the orange Grand Marnier slush. It doesn't matter what time of day or night. I'll stand in line. I will stand in line for this stuff.
That's love.
And it's delicious, man. That thing is just it's nice and refreshing on a hot, hot day.
Oh, 100%.
So those are definitely my top 3 that I will have every trip.
I'm with you. I'll see that Lapu Lapu you had and raise you another Lapu Lapu in the toast for your choice of a good drink.
There you go. Lapu Lapu squared.
I got to go with Lapu Lapu every time. I mean, so much. I think we talked about in the trip report when we first got there to Ohana. I stopped right there at the bars at Lapu Lapu time. I think it was 10 o'clock, something like that. Yeah. So
Your vacation.
I think every time I have gone on a vacation, the stop has always been there for Lapu Lapu. So I'm with you. Second was a little tougher for me. There were a few I was trying to think through, but I had to kind of really sit down and reminisce. And again, I think I'm going to switch back to Disneyland and go with the ultimate Long Island iced tea.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. That's that one works. Not just because the drink is really good, refreshing. You don't really taste any of the alcohol, which I never do, and I have so many. I can't remember what happened to me when I wake up in a strange place the next day.
And you can't find him when he wakes up the next day.
You really can't. It's fun times, and yet still scary. So yes, I definitely would go with that. Highly recommend that. I mean, like, hotels, resorts. I mean, it's always a good time looking out with that buzz. Then I guess I'd have to say for the third one is the Jedi Mind Trick at Olga's Cantina. But like really most of the few drinks that they have there, I'm starting to like catch on with. That's usually the starter one for me.
That one you can go in with confidence is like, I know I'll like this.
Yeah, because it's kind of like it's there, they make it. It's really refreshing. But like I just had the fuzzy, what is it? That's
Fuzzy tauntaun.
Yeah.
For the first time, because Danny was like, go ahead and try it. I was still scared from our first time watching him drink it. And I was like, hey, man, I don't know, man. That looks scary. You go dumb. But that's a fun one, too. Mm-hmm. That one easily could climb up there, up the ranks. But yes, for the sake of the 3, I'm going to stick with the Lapu Lapu, Ultimate Long Island, and the Jedi Mind Trick.
Nice. All choice drinks. Rachel, what you got?
Yeah. So my first one is I got to get a beer at Baseline Tap House.
Oh,
yeah, nice. Yeah.
They have different rotating ones. I don't always get the same one, but I got to get a beer at Baseline Tap House. I also love the avocado margaritas in Epcot at La Cava de Tequila.
Ooh, nice.
You can get them to go. You can sit down in there. Well, sitting is tough. There's not that many sitting tables, but they have standing tables too. Get queso, get chips, and then the avocado margarita. So good. I love that margarita.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's like kind of, I don't usually like frozen drinks. It is kind of a frozen drink, but it's not icky sweet. It's more just like creamy and then cold, which when you're in Orlando, you want something cold.
I was going to ask if there was chunks of avocado, but it sounds like because it's creamy, it's because of the avocado.
It's fully blended. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds really, really good.
I love that one. And then the last thing is I got to get a cold brew from Joffrey's. They have their shaken Jamaican cold brew. We don't have Joffrey's around here. I don't know if there really is Joffrey's outside of Disney. I've never seen it before. I know you can order it online, but
Keurig cups I've seen, yes.
Yeah. But I love Joffrey's at Disney. It's part of the experience for me. And like that's one thing, like I'll get it basically every day. I'll get a Joffrey's cold brew. I like it better than Starbucks, to be honest, which is great. Because at home I love Starbucks. I go to Starbucks a lot, but Joffrey's is also usually easier because you can mobile order it. So yeah, I love Joffrey's cold brew. But I'm pretty particular. I only get it at the actual Joffrey's locations. They do sell it like at some of the Disney World quick service locations, but I don't think it's as good.
So like that's at Animal Kingdom, Contemporary.
Everywhere. Yeah, there's one at Contemporary. There's one in every park. There's like those walk-up kiosks, like the Joffrey's kiosks. Usually there's like 2 in every park.
We got a Joffrey's connoisseur in our show.
Yes, there's one at the Skyliner station at Caribbean Beach. Sometimes I go over there just for the coffee.
Okay. Where in Magic Kingdom?
There's one in Tomorrowland.
Okay.
I think that's the only one in Magic Kingdom that's like an actual dedicated Joffrey's is Tomorrowland.
That makes sense.
Yeah, love that Joffrey's cold brew.
Yeah, I'm curious now. I want to try it. I don't think I've ever had it.
I've had Joffrey's. I just prefer Starbucks, I suppose, because I don't really drink Starbucks down here that much.
I bring my own coffee whenever I go on the trips. You know, I'll bring our coffee.
No, yeah, well, New Orleanians have a take on coffee. We always do chicory in our coffee.
Right.
And so when Starbucks came in, so many New Orleanians were like, hell no. boycott Starbucks. Don't go to Starbucks. You know, our coffee is already better. But it took root, and I've had it enough times to where I've developed a good taste for it. But I don't do it that often because we have so many other coffee options. So I always end up gravitating towards Starbucks when we go there. But Joffrey's, that used to be your only option at one point.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, this should at least be 10. Can we at least do 5 on this? Because I don't.
Well, to be fair, Rachel introduced the honorable mentions, so
honorable mentions.
Give you one honorable mention.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay.
She opened the door.
So I'm gonna put the Banana Cabana in the honorable mention category. It used to be one of my favorites, and it used to be a must do. But the last time we went there, I got one. It was just too sweet.
It's sweet. It is sweet.
I don't know what it was. I was like, I like my version, and I make it home better. That is not as sweet. So I'm gonna put that in the honorable mention category. Grand Marnier Slush is definitely in the honorable mention category. Well, let's just start with actually has to
Your
be in
actuals.
there.
Yeah.
Seasonal old fashioned over at the Enchanted Rose. When they tell it to me, it always sounds like, no, I'm not going to like that. Although I do like old fashions because they use like a cranberry simple syrup kind of thing. And I'm not a big cranberry fan, but every time I have it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So every single time I go back, I'm like, that can't be the one I had before. And I always order it. And it's, yes, because when I say seasonal, you think it changes like by the seasons,
Right.
4 times a year. It's change. No, it's always seems to be the same one. It's always delicious. So I'm going to put that one up there. The Lapu Lapu's got to be on there, as y'all guys did. The Wasabi Bloody Mary is up there for me as well.
Oh, you've said that before.
Yeah.
And I still have yet to try it. Sounds delicious.
Love the Wasabi Bloody Mary. The only thing is, do I like it more than the Fuzzy Tauntaun? And that's kind of a, oh man, that's like, how do you evaluate the two of them? I mean, they're just so
They're very different.
Yeah, exactly. And then I love them both, but the Fuzzy Tauntaun is generally something I'd order once, and I feel like I'm done with it. The Wasabi Bloody Mary is something I'd order multiple times, so I would go with the Wasabi Bloody Mary as my third.
Nice.
Is that 3?
That's
Seasonal
3,
Old Fashioned Lapu Lapu, Wasabi Bloody Mary.
And 2 honorable mentions.
2 honorable mentions. I mean, espresso martini over at
yeah,
Enchanted
espresso
Rose.
martini.
That's something I always get as well.
That is good.
Frappuccinos. We were just talking about that. I mean, there's so much that I get. It's hard, but I'll just go with what I said. Yeah.
Good on you. Now I'm hungry and thirsty.
That's a tough one. That one's a tough one. You know, yeah. I even wanted Coke Icy at one point. I was like, no, I can't.
Ooh,
Give me
Coke
my Foo
Icy.
Fighters sake now. I need something to drink after that.
Wake up there, buddy.
That hurt.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, with the next series of questions, we're going to steer away from consumables. For
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you.
And this is a pretty standard question. Every Disney Parks fan should be able to answer.
Okay.
And that is, what are your top 3 attractions that you absolutely have to go on every trip? They define your vacation. You make sure you do it. Has to happen. Your top 3.
So this is not just any Disney, all like even Disneyland included.
Even Disneyland.
I
I
assume-
open
yeah, I
it for any
assume that.
U.S. park. Yes.
Man, 3? That's it? It's always 3?
3. Yeah,
Only
gotta narrow down to
3.
3. These are the top 3. It's like you're gonna get on it every single day. I had trouble with this one too.
I mean,
I had to make some decisions,
You
but
can't do 5. Just do 5. I mean, come on. We don't even have to get into this that much. I need to push for 5 on this one. Come on, we can't do 5.
but I think that's fair keeping it at 3, but there's a lot to choose from.
It's
a lot
not
to choose
fair
from.
keeping it at 3. I feel like I'm cheating on some of my favorites here because I'm having to choose. And you know how choices work. One day you're in the mood for this. One day
it's
you
like your
want
children.
sweets. One day you want savory. This is not easy, man. Yeah.
Oh, this is Patreon material.
You gotta be
got one
monogamous
kid.
here.
I cannot. Oh man, because there's some things you do because it's just classic Disney, but there's other things it's like, man, but that's just fun, man. Oh, I hate this question. F- you, Kevin.
Hate the questions. Need a drink.
All right, so just to lead off, these are the 3, and this was kind of difficult to do for sure. So I had to make some decisions in the spirit of the question itself. So, of course, if you listen to the show enough, I'm going to say dinosaur. Dinosaur's got to be in there.
Yeah.
I love that ride system. I know I'm going to make it to Animal Kingdom at some point in my vacation, and that's definitely going to be something that I want to ride. To be fair, the rest of the stuff, I like them too, but if I don't happen to get on it, I won't be as sad. You know,
Okay.
because dinosaur, I have a special mission because I like that ride system. I want Disney to keep that ride system. And I just enjoy that. I have fond memories of that ride. I always have a good time when I do it.
I hope it survives the
Purge. Yeah.
Yeah.
purge in Animal Kingdom. So
I do
far, so
too. of Dino Land. I don't want to see them do away with that completely.
Yeah, because that's probably like the best part of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and in the theme area around it,
Well,
I think it's just as good.
It's what makes Animal Kingdom. I mean, Animal Kingdom was always supposed to be animals of the past, the present, and that never existed. And if so, we never got the animals that never existed, unless you count the non-working Yeti. We never got that whole Beastly Kingdom area. And then if you're doing away with Dino Land, now you get animals that do exist, but really we're replacing animals with pseudo-animals. Like, you like animals, here's Zootopia. Basically, animals acting like people.
Animal like.
Yeah.
All right, so this next one, I of course, there's Haunted Mansion and Pirates that I had to choose from. And so I went with Haunted Mansion as my second one, for sure, because I think that if I got on Haunted Mansion, I'm happy, it's fine. If I don't happen to make it on Pirates, I can live with that. But then it got to the third position, I was like, oh, well, maybe Pirates could go here, but then I thought in my head, I was like, oh, but then there's Spaceship Earth. Not the greatest, but it's still a harbinger to Epcot past. And I know, and I don't even think about it. Anytime I'm in that park, I'm gonna ride it. But it's like a peek into my youth when I go into that attraction, because it's still kind of the same-ish for the most part. I still hear the rattle of the Omnimover track, and still got to go backwards, even though you got the new narration and whatnot. So I decided to go with Spaceship Earth over Pirates, and Pirates got bumped out of my top 3, which was very painful to do. But I when it came down to it, it was like, if I don't go on Spaceship Earth, I don't think I've really been to Epcot. I don't think Epcot was,
Right.
or at least what I knew growing up as Epcot.
I'm with you on that to a degree, but at the same time, I kind of feel that way about Soarin'. If I don't go in Soarin', I don't feel like I've been to Epcot.
I can see
That's
that.
a great
Yeah,
point.
that is a good one. Yeah, I can see that.
That's
You're just cheating. You're trying to get more in.
Yeah, I am. Thank you. Leave it to the teacher to catch me cheating.
But you know what's funny about Soarin' is that like I would take the Soarin' in California Adventure more so than the Epcot.
The original Soarin'.
Yeah, the original Soarin', only because it's adequately themed in that I want to say Rascal Flats. It's not Rascal Flats. Condor Flats.
Yeah.
It's not Rascal Flats.
That's a band.
It is. It's a band. Yeah.
Okay,
The name of the area is Condor Flats, like the airport stuff. But yes, all decisions aside, I had to go with that, and I'm sticking with it for better or for worse. There we go. Dinosaur, Haunted Mansion, and Spaceship Earth.
That's almost a better question, though, isn't it? Like, what attraction is there per park that if you didn't go on it, you don't feel like you've been to that park? That's almost just as good of a question. Because I know for me, for Animal Kingdom, it would be A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm waiting for Rachel to call me out again.
Oh, no, it's general discussion. I'm kind of wanting to get that out as
comment.
well.
I even said it right. Tough to be a bug. That's what
Tough to be a
if I
bug.
don't ride
Yeah.
Tough to be a bug, it doesn't feel like I've been to Animal Kingdom. If I don't ride Soarin', it doesn't feel like I've been to Epcot.
Ooh,
If I don't ride Muppets, it doesn't feel like I've been to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
He's sneaking them in, people.
Dang, yeah, I do like Sora too. Like that would kind of escape me as well. That's a tough one though. That I guess I'd have to start first with. I got to go with Duck Butt first to stay loyal.
Philharmagic.
that sounds
Very
right.
good.
That's consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, look, that's fun. I'm glad they added like Coco to it to kind of spice it up a little bit more in the mix. But it's just a good visual spectacle. There is something about it. Every time I've gone in it, I do feel a lot more creatively inspired. Probably because it's like, there's a lot of motion with the camera, there's a lot of perspective happening, and
A lot
like,
of colors.
A lot of colors.
Sure,
it's
yeah.
like, those visual things are coming in at you. And it's got air conditioning too. So you can't go wrong with that. The next two, they're it's like you said, it's hard because like the classics, like your Pirates, I always go on Pirates, and Haunted Mansion, I always go on Haunted Mansion like every time. I gotta say the Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run.
Okay, yeah.
But only because I had one particular moment where I got to fly the whole thing by myself once, just to kind of say, yeah, I did it. So that kind of put me over as far as why to put this one on the list. Because, now it's not the same. It's because it's always fun when you get in there with your people, if you do it right, in my opinion. It's not like trying to go through the mission and yell at the person, you missed that. I missed it, you missed it. Hit the hyperdrive. Like, it's very interactive. Yeah, you can't beat that. The third one, that's what I kind of wanted to go over, because it's like I've only had a chance to ride it once, but I would definitely ride it again every time I had a chance. And it's also, of course, a chance to rep, my Marvel love, and that's Cosmic Rewind. But when we went the first time, I had no clue what to expect. So I need to go on it again just to kind of, get that familiarity with the ride. Like, oh yeah, it's part, because like I had a blast going through it. But all I can tell you is I remember the intro, I remember Terry Crews, and then I remember flying around and then seeing the planet, and then the big monster had stuff on him, and it was over. I just would like more of that.
Yeah.
More the monster with stuff on it.
Yeah, more of the monster got caged. I mean, I kind of have an idea why, but it would be cool to kind of get my surroundings.
I thought it was
better.
like an Eternal.
Eternal, right? Isn't it?
No, I thought it was just like some crazy monster that was brought in, but see, I need to go on again. So
I guess so.
Yeah.
I would think as a Marvel guru, you'd be able to tell the difference between a monster and an Eternal.
I don't know. I mean, once it happens so quick, they all blend into me. Absolutely. Ooh, I need to go
Sure.
again just to compare this list.
Absolutely. Rachel, what you got?
Yeah, I had Guardians Cosmic Rewind too. I'd be sad if I didn't get on that in my trip. I love the different songs. Like getting the different songs is so fun. And like not knowing which one you're going to get and then you find out on the ride. Anyway, it's fun. So in that same idea, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout in California Adventure. If I don't get on that one, I'm super bummed. I love that ride. And then my last one is Flight of Passage. If I don't get on Flight of Passage in Animal Kingdom, I'm pretty bummed out.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
I had no idea.
I
Okay.
was surprised by that one too.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It's a good
Wow.
one.
No judgment. No
What is
judgment.
it? What is it about Flight of Passage that gets you?
Oh my gosh, like the flying sensation and the smells and the music and
Are you
I
an
don't know.
Avatar fan?
no, I've literally never seen an Avatar.
You've never seen? Wow,
that's awesome.
I love that.
that
answer.
makes it. Yeah,
Yeah, so no, we didn't see it, and then it became such a thing that everyone had done that it's like now more fun to be somebody who's never seen them, like because people are like, oh yeah, Avatar. I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't know. I go to the place in Disney World and I love that, but I haven't seen the movie.
I still haven't seen the sequel. Don't
Yeah,
know.
I haven't seen
Yeah, I
it.
haven't seen that either.
Way of Water. Yeah.
I don't know anybody who has. I tried to watch it one time. It was on HBO, and I got through about 15 minutes of it, and I was like, what else is on?
It doesn't. Yeah, the movie itself, it just looks like the same as the first movie, which is I didn't understand that either.
No, I never really cared for that
Yeah,
one
the
either.
visuals are amazing, but yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
that's what it's known. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get that.
I love that attraction.
Interesting.
nice.
Yeah.
So, of all the simulator attractions, like Soarin', Star Tours, Flight of Passage, what else am I?
Smuggler's Run.
Smugglers
Smuggler's
Run.
Run, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
All right.
a simulator too.
So, Mission Space, I guess.
Yeah, technically.
Still, Flight of Passage wins out over all of them.
yeah, I think so.
That's crazy. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know you were such a fan. All
Yeah.
right. So, man, this is a tough
See, that's
one.
what I did.
I hate these questions because it just feels like I'm leaving something out. I've already kind of
We got 3 in earlier. So.
yeah, I was gonna say I already hipped y'all to a few that I'm trying to sneak in because there's so much. Like, there's not just one ride. There's a couple of rides that are quintessential Magic Kingdom rides or Epcot rides or Disneyland rides. I'm gonna go with Haunted Mansion in Disneyland first and foremost because, well, just look around. That's pretty much
You
all I have
are
to
a
say
bit
there.
of a Disney Haunted Mansion fan.
I
for sure.
am. I love the Haunted Mansion. So now who knows? Maybe when they put the Hatbox Ghost in the one in Disney World, maybe I'll start to value that mansion a little bit higher, but still it's Disneyland for me. Man, this was... I got to go with Radiator Springs Racers in
Oh, I love
California
that.
Adventure.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Nice.
really do think that is a great ride that I would be ticked off if I
Yes.
did not ride.
That's yeah, that's a good one.
It's
That's a
such a
good one.
great... It's a ride worthy of an entire land.
Mhm.
Oh, for sure. I think it gives Rise of the Resistance a run for its money as like the best Disney attraction. And it's not my personal favorite. Like, obviously, it didn't make my list, but I can just respect how that ride appeals to everyone. It's got like a little thrill. It's got the dark ride aspect. The technology is great. The theming is great. Like, it's got everything.
Yeah, and to that point, that's really came down to me was the Finding Nemo submarine ride over in Disneyland is just so... There's something about being in the subs and the physicality of that and whatnot that I love, but I do need to be on Rise of the Resistance. It's such a next level game changer. It's like 3 different ride systems in one. I think I've got to do that no matter what. So I think those are going to be my 3. And Finding Nemo subs will just have to get like an honorable mention, as will Pirates and everything else. Muppets for sure.
All
But,
the other ones you snuck in.
all the other ones that I managed to get underneath the principal's door. But yeah, Rare Springs Racers, Haunted Mansion, and Rise of Resistance. They gotta go.
Nice. All choice stuff, man.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah, we do love some Rise.
Yeah. All right, so we got 2 more questions left, and this is the second to last one, the penultimate one. Is there one, or maybe more, walk-around characters that you absolutely have to see and take a picture with on every one of your trips?
Oh yeah, that one's easy. Okay.
Have to?
Yeah, it's like
Have
you
to.
see him and you're just like, oh, wait, hold on. My boy, I gotta go. I gotta do this. Y'all go ride, I'm gonna hang out.
Dang, I don't.
How are you struggling with this?
I mean,
I have at least one.
I have.
JAS.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I haven't
MIA.
seen it in a while, and then sometimes it depends on what's going on.
What the costume is really what he's talking about.
Thank you. Just trying to be very.
He's not trying to be sexist, but he's totally sexist.
It's what inside that counts, though.
Well, that's true, Kevin. That's very true. Kevin.
When you see Princess Jasmine, you stop everything.
it depends on the
performer.
To be fair, I mean, yes, I would definitely add this, but yes, I mean, I still have the photo that I took when I moved to land in the genie.
I was going to say,
I still got that one in my wall, right above my daughter's graduation picture. So that's okay, yeah, that's fair.
You gotta go with that. You
I have to go with that.
You gotta go with Jasmine. Yeah,
I have to because it's right. He's totally right.
I'm surprised it took him that long.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Well, yeah. I mean, every now and again, but he's.
I mean,
right.
is there anybody else? I mean, it's like a long time we're doing the show. It's like Jasmine.
No,
Donald occasionally because of the duck butt. In fact, we were trying to get him to take a picture with Donald, where Donald was turned around and he was just pointing at his butt.
Yeah, during breakfast.
We were afraid we were going to get kicked out.
And by the time I got out the table, he was already gone. No, there's some characters that I'll take pictures with, like say like Goofy.
Goofy's a big one.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
You had the Goofy
good.
hat for a while.
Yeah, I had the hat for, but
It's always Jasmine.
But if it's Jasmine,
but to his point, the Jasmine I took a picture with does not dress like the ones that are out now, and so it's a little.
He wants midriff Jasmine.
Midriff Jasmine. Okay.
Ooh wee.
Is she's not around at all anymore?
No, she's covered.
She's
now.
covered. She's got
Yeah.
like this like I don't know what you
It's
call
like a
it.
dress. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen what you're talking about. Yeah, but I guess I didn't realize that she didn't appear in the movie outfit anywhere. I thought she did.
They changed it when the movie, it's the live action movie came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They kind of switched it around, but the original costume, I totally OG with that. OG Jasmine.
OG Jasmine.
Yeah, I can't speak for whether or not she still appears in that dress, but every time I see one Jasmine when they're out and about in public, it's not the midriff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We need drift. We need drift.
Midriff.
Although, you know what? To be fair, maybe in the parades.
I don't know. That blows right by
Possibly.
Yeah, because I don't really make it a point to see parades.
me. Right.
Yeah.
So it's possible that maybe she did it in the
could
parade.
be in the videos.
Like, why
I'll have
not?
to watch the videos and see. But for me, I each have 2.
Okay.
And of course, if you listen to the show and you new listeners, you're going to learn this. Pluto's my boy. I see Pluto. If he's ever out and about, I will definitely catch a picture with him. Whether it be in a cruise ship or in the parks or whatever else. But for the focus of this, it's definitely got to be Pluto for sure to lead off. And then the second one is Tiana. Just because New Orleans represent. I got to support the local girl out there, doing her thing in her green outfit. And if Naveen's there, great. That's cool too. But, no, it's all about Tiana. For sure.
Yeah, no.
Got to
Sure.
snap a picture with her. Sometimes I could see her. Where is that? It's like a little
window
gazebo behind the Christmas shop in not Main Street, Liberty Square.
Liberty Square.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
She's really nestled back
yeah.
there, and it's like, oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, every time we've ever met Tiana, she's always been like, "Oh, where you from?" Like, we're from New Orleans. Oh, hey, cousin.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, it's so cool when she would do that.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but those are only 2, man. I put Kevin only because my name is Kevin, and for some reason, every time I run into Animal Kingdom, I see Kevin, and I'm like, I should take a picture. 'cause
That
my
is
name's
trippy.
They
Kevin.
have her out a lot.
Click, click. Yeah, they have her out a lot of times. So it's like I did her like a and or. It's not like I'll be sad if I don't see Kevin, but it's like I just happen to see Kevin. I don't know why. it just happened.
We always run into Kevin. My wife likes Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin's good. Yeah. But
To
yeah,
your point, though, like I've always wanted to have a picture with Dr. Facilier, but I can never seem to run it. One time I ran into Dr. Facilier in Disneyland, and he was going this way, and I was going that way. I was like, hey, Doc, and he's like, and he just kept on walking. But yes, I saw Dr. Facilier that one time, but that is somebody I've wanted to have a picture with, but Mine is going to be very obvious, so I'll let Rachel's next.
So I had trouble with this one because I like meeting the characters. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with getting autographs. Like I wanted everybody's autograph. I loved that. Like they all had the themed autographs. I thought that was so cool. I have my autograph book from 1998 and it's like as full as possible. So anyway, I love characters. I love meeting them with my kids. But if I thought about like myself now, I can't think of anybody that I was like dying to meet, or if I saw them, I would be like, I have to stop. I have to take a picture.
Oh,
Except
come on.
I came up with one.
All right.
And I've never met her before, but I would love to. And I like totally had my eyes peeled in Disneyland and it didn't happen. I know that Scarlet Witch goes out and meets people in Disneyland. And if I had seen Scarlet Witch out in Avengers Campus, I would have literally stopped everything and run over.
That's awesome.
I love her. Yeah. And it's so part of it is in that most recent movie in like WandaVision, she has that storyline of being a mom and being separated from her kids. And something, you know, listeners might know about me or not know is that we actually lost our first child. And so that whole storyline of being separated from your children and trying to like go through different realms to have like minutes with them again was like so cool for me. Anyway, so I just really identify with her. I love her character. So if I saw Scarlet Witch, that would totally be somebody I would like push people over for.
That's right. Don't stay
out of the way.
Yeah. Love Scarlet Witch.
Well, that is so deep and
That is
awesome.
That is so hard to follow now. Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I get that though. I mean,
Wow.
you
That is
know,
awesome.
Marvel characters would have so much more punch if you could have them out there at Disney. I know you can't,
Yeah.
No.
but oh man,
Oh, well, I will say when they gave Scarlet Witch the traditional, like the headdress,
yeah.
I popped. That's like the best scene in Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Was when they gave her the traditional
outfit,
headdress.
yeah.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
scary
her
in that
outfit was
one.
great. Yeah, she was. She was.
very scary.
Oh, it was very shining, reminiscent.
Yeah.
The way she had the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, okay. So mine's pretty easy. It's been my favorite character ever since I was a baby. Dopey.
Yeah.
Nice.
We spend hundreds of dollars every single time just to go to Artist Point, as I said before, for two things: Dopey and the soup. That's it.
Dopey in the soup.
Dopey in the soup, man. That's all I'm about. And
That's my next band name.
every-
actually.
Yeah,
Dopey in the Suit.
I like that.
Are you going to try to meet the Seven Dwarfs when you go to Mickey's Not So Scary?
Oh, we've done that before a few times. We have done that, and Eli probably remembers this. Where no, actually, you left. You were like, "Yeah, I need to go back to the room." Like I think you bolted, but we waited in line to see all the Seven Dwarfs and stuff like that.
It's a long line.
Yeah, it is a long line, and that particular, it wasn't a very fun night for Eli that night because Lily was young enough to where the meeting the characters was really her only thing. So we spent our entire Halloween party basically bouncing from characters to characters. The line for Moana was insane.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I just remember standing there for like an hour and a half just so my daughter could meet Moana. But Dopey is always that one character that, yeah, even if it wasn't all the Seven Dwarfs, I would stand in line just to meet Dopey. So Dopey's always my favorite.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So now we're at the final question. And this is something every avid Disney Parks fan has probably found themselves in this particular situation. You know, let's say, and we all know this trick, right? You know, it's about a minute before they close. We're going to hop into that attraction. We're going to book a dining something or whatever else purposefully so that, you know, we can walk out of the park leisurely and it's not crowded and it's after hours and things are still going. So just to kind of frame it a little bit more, let's say it's the end of the day, right? And you did that trick and you just got out of your final attraction or your final dining reservation, you know, whatever it is, about maybe 30 minutes, probably an hour after the parks have already closed. It's dark. The lights are on. The area music is still playing. There's not as many people around and you have to make your way out of the park, obviously, right? And this one, I had it answered immediately when I did this question. So I was curious to know if y'all felt the same way with other pieces. But is there one area or land that you would intentionally take your time walking through so that you can soak it all in
Absolutely.
and enjoy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I've got that.
I have one.
Yeah.
And it's like it's every single time I go on that trip, I make it a point to do
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I got my
Yeah.
happy. Yeah.
I feel like I have too many. How many are we allowed to have?
Oh, now you want to pull my trick.
now I have problems.
I said one. It's like one main one is like I got to do this on my trip because it just does it for me.
Do what I did, man. Work it in there.
Work it in there. We'll help you.
Weave through the magic.
Yep. It's like you will sashay through that area purposefully.
Oh yeah.
until somebody comes along and says, "Hey, you got to go." But no, you will sashay your little butt across this land and just like take it all in.
Yeah, it's the one area I'll just sit and just look.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly where that area is.
Yeah. And so I guess I'll lead off with this one, but and this is something I do every single time, especially I'll get that last chance at what was Splash Mountain, and I'll probably do it again, whatever attractions there, but also Big Thunder Mountain, I'll do that purposefully. But I love just strolling through Frontierland at night.
Oh wow.
You got the cricket sounds, you got the water from the rivers of America, you got the building lights. Everybody's already out front shopping at the Emporium, so there's hardly anybody back there.
You can shoot ghosts.
Yeah, you can shoot ghosts. You can just sashay. You got the trees. It's just absolutely freaking beautiful back there. And when I leave that attraction, I will take my sweet ass time.
Yeah.
And this is not the boardwalk side. I will go straight down the main drag of Frontierland and just take it all in, man. Hear all the sounds, a little banjo playing, everything. The crickets are the ones that get me. I mean, yes, there's regular crickets, but they pipe in some crickets too to really make it effect. And it's just the whole atmosphere of that area for me. This is even since high school when I'd take band trips. It's like I would still want to do this. I really like this look. Frontierland, Disney a la Noche, Frontier a la Noche kind of thing. It's awesome. Yeah. So Frontierland's my one area that I would definitely take my time going through. So I'm glad I was able to share that with you guys.
Total de la
Sure,
Noche.
man.
Yeah.
I felt your passion.
What you got, E?
Again, that's a really good question because I find myself wandering around that place late, plenty of night. But I have to say, I like walking through Epcot.
Any particular area or just like
I like going through. I like going through the various countries at night like that, mainly because like they're there. You're not trying to dodge people, but there's also just a huge body of water like on the other side of you, and that's really tranquil. And a lot of times, I think like when Danny and I had like that big dinner for sushi, we were both bloated and the park was closing, and we're like, man, we got to go. Your food is so good, but we gonna die. Like we exploded, and like we walked, and we were just chit chatting stuff. But like you said in the beginning, for your criteria for this, like the cast member was like, it's time to go. But there's nobody there. Like I mean, like we were like walking, like totally like free, and there was no problem. But it's really cool that you get to see how the area looks at night, like the big stage that they have out there. And again, like the water, everything is really tranquil. And it's kind of chill. Also, if you do have to use the bathroom, plenty of areas to go ahead and do that. So it's also convenient for your bladder as well. It's multi-purpose. But yes,
It's as simple as that.
Yes.
but I do love I like
That is
the walk
pretty.
and the whole
Yeah.
setup for it.
And the lights are nice and pretty around that lagoon too.
I do enjoy it.
That is cool.
I mean, that was tough. There was some other ones that I like going through,
But
like
this
you
one
said.
just does it for you.
That one does it for you, but yes, because it was the most recent thing. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, I love it. I'm sure, and everybody else gonna say something. I'll probably be like, yeah.
What about you, Rachel? What you got? What's your favorite area to sashay through late in the evening?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like all of Animal Kingdom. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole
Pandora?
thing.
you like
I
Pandora?
kept going. I know. I kept going back and forth. So, like, my 3 favorite lands in that park are definitely Pandora and Asia and Africa. And so, like, making the decision in between those was tough. I think I'm gonna go with Asia specifically. I love the theming of like the prayer flags and Everest, and then it has that Maharaja jungle trek, so you can go see the tigers and the birds that are there. God, I used to love it when they had Rivers of Light there. We would just like hang out in that area in the evenings, and I would get Golden Monkey beer from the Thirsty River Snacks. And that beer is like 9%, y'all. And so, like, after a park day, you drink a 9% beer, you're feeling great for the show. It was just the best time ever. And then you would walk out, and the Tree of Life would be lit up. And
Oh,
it's
that
the
is
best.
pretty. You're right. Yeah.
So that's it. I guess that's my like nostalgic walking through a land Disney memory is like Asia at night and walking out eventually past the Tree of Life.
I love it because like I can picture like all these things that y'all describe. I can definitely picture it in my head. But you get up on the top of that bridge and you can look back at the tree and stuff.
Oh, the tree
Yeah.
of life
Oh,
at-
it's so beautiful.
at night,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. I
Very
mean, even it's the best unveiling of a park icon is a tree of life. When you walk into Animal Kingdom, that is the best unveiling of a park icon. Period.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, for anyone keeping score, I think all of my things were Joe Rohde things, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Rohde's
Yeah.
my favorite.
That's fair.
So pretty much
He's-
like anything Joe Rohde did, I'm a big fan.
Every former Imagineer we talked about with him, like they had nothing but positive things to say about Joe Rohde.
I love his work.
Joe Rohde. Wow. I'll never forget when Eli and I were there, like when you and Kirk and Lee left early, we stayed in Animal Kingdom and we watched Tree of Life come to life when it got to be night. Like that's all we did was like we went to what was it, Starbucks, and we just had coffee and just had some drinks like later on and just waited and just watched the Tree of Life, waited for nightfall to come along, waited for Pandora to come alive. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame we don't really have more time to spend at night with Pandora and
I know.
It is.
Animal Kingdom.
You're right.
Dang.
It's such a beautiful park.
Oh, they
at
don't
night.
utilize it better once they
don't.
have it at night.
No.
I want them to do more after hours there. I think it's the only park recently that hasn't had one of those after hours events, like the hard ticket ones. You know, like they had Magic Kingdom, they have had a hard ticket Animal Kingdom event, but I believe it was pre-pandemic. I don't think that one's come back yet.
So I guess it leaves me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This one was really easy. There's a spot when you're walking out of Disneyland, and it's right where the subs meet the monorail meets Matterhorn.
Oh, yes.
And I could just stay there and look at that for hours. And sometimes I have just sat there up against the railing, watching the subs go around, watching the monorail occasionally coming out, and seeing the Matterhorn and it right as the backdrop in the distance. That is just the most perfect Disney sight I've ever seen. I mean, just so much energy between water, like air, sea, like land. There's just such kinetic motion going on and so many iconic things happening. Monorail, Matterhorn, submarines. I mean, you think of those things, you think Disney. That's my happy place, man. Like I would just sit there on the way out of the park and just linger in that area for hours. That's the last place I want to leave. If ever Disneyland is shutting down, me and my daughter literally went over there and just like, I'll never forget, we all split up on our last night at Disneyland. When we did the trip report, I think we talked about this. We all split up on our last night and then we all did our own things. And me and Lily and Emily, we went over to Haunted Mansion to enjoy Haunted Mansion for the, night, the overlay. And after that, we worked our way back over towards that area and just kind of sat in that area until it was time to leave.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that area.
I could see that.
Yes. It's hard for me to, like, even during the day, I could just see myself just sitting there and taking in all of it.
Yeah, and the lighting's absolutely gorgeous in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I remember that. Man, well, that was great. I totally enjoyed that exercise for sure. And I have a lot of more of these things within their own particular themes to come. And I would definitely be curious to know what you listeners think. Please get in touch with us. And hopefully you learned a little bit more about us as your Magic Our Way hosts. Share us your opinions. Share us your thoughts on these particular questions. I'm about to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Well, y'all, we hope you enjoyed that discussion. And look, if you want to learn more about us, go to magicourway.com. There you will find our social media links, past episodes, and more. Also, if you want to get in touch with us to either, join one of the weekend fantasy football leagues or share your opinions on any of the questions I posed on this particular show, you can do it through the following ways. First, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com or call or text us at 1-815-MOWEEKEND. That is 1-815
MOWEEKEND
669-4226. And of course, we have a couple of people who do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli, does things with comics. Eli, what's up, sir?
Hey, you can always pay me a visit out there by going to a Avid Comics website. So www.avidcomics.com. Appreciate the love and support there. You see all the projects I've worked on, fully colored, 48 pages. The only ad for each book is for this podcast. So that's The Molly Be Damned, Project Geisha, and Savages. Of course, there's always a link to the Magic Our Way podcast from the Avid Comics site, so you never miss a beat, an episode, an opinion, all the good stuff. And you can go ahead and join. There's also blogs and interviews as well, so please appreciate the support, ivorycomics.com. On social media, you can find me there on Facebook, Eli H. Ivory. As long as you're a real person, it's lovely to meet you. But if you're a bot, don't even need to greet you unless you happen to look like Jasmine serving a lapu lapu in the original outfit with a turkey leg in the other hand. I might have to click on that one. I know that's serious clickbait for me. But yeah, on Facebook, Eli Jiver, you can find me there. Also on Facebook, Project Geisha has a fan page there, so please go and support that. Also on Instagram, I'm right there posting up the hearts and the likes as well. ERE504, that's the call sign right there. And of course on X, and I'm not talking about Professor X's group of happily married mutants that fight for the strive of racial injustice everywhere. I'm just talking about where Twitter
not
used
Family
to be.
Feud. Not Family Feud.
No,
yeah.
right.
Don't give me that third X.
Not that. Just X, which is it makes me think of DMX. It makes me think of so many things with X in it. Exhibit, but nope, it's Twitter. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't get it. I just don't even feel right saying it. Twitter was a weird name for me to get used to saying.
It marks the spot.
It
Yeah,
does mark the spot. That's true.
it does. And so the spot right there is Hancock 10166. So if you appreciate the madness, they just bring me the glass and I need a drink and a turkey leg. And
All
some
the good
fancy
stuff.
food.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I need a cigarette. Thank you.
So, guys, look, if you want to book a vacation to either Walt Disney World or the Disneyland Resort to see all the things that we were talking about and experience them and soak them all in, you could do it through Rachel. Rachel, how do they do this?
Or if you want to take a cruise.
Or
I
if you
know.
want to take a cruise, you're right.
Yeah.
So many options. Yeah. For those that don't know, I specialize in Disney destinations with a capital D. So that's the parks, but then also Disney Cruise Line, Aulani, Adventures by Disney, all that good stuff. You've heard me talk about Hilton Head. You've heard me talk about Vero Beach. So I can do all of those. I also book Universal trips. Universal is going to get real hot here in a couple years with Epic Universe. So I'm really excited for that. And we didn't talk about this, but I almost said in my lands that you would walk around the most, the Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley.
That's the great one. Yes.
I think those two are better themed than anything at Disney. Those are my fighting words.
Ooh,
No.
interesting.
Anyway, so I can book Universal and Royal Caribbean and all major hotel brands. So all of those things are options, and I would be honored to help your family book a trip. It costs nothing extra for you, and all that happens is a little bit of your vacation money, instead of going to those big corporate companies, comes back to this podcast to support what we do here and support this fan community. And so we really appreciate you booking through me and the Magic Our Way podcast. And you can do that by reaching me at Rachel, RACHEL, at magicourway.com. You can also find me on social media. I'm at R Family Magic. That's just the letter R, Family Magic, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And you can also call me or text me if that's easier, trying to make it as easy as possible. And that number is 978-432-WISH. So yeah, please reach out. I'd be honored to help you book a trip.
And if y'all want to access all the info we just mentioned, go to magicourway.com/about us. Also, if you want to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way. There you'll find 6 awesome tiers to support this show. Any way in which you can support this show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome in the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, Mohegans, we say Kwaherini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.